Okay, hello, this is Dr. James, and today we're going to talk about fixing, this is a Pulse. Let's see if we can take a look at that Pulse scooter. Pulse something or other. I found this thing in the trash. Someone threw it out. So I pulled it out of the trash and it didn't work. So I figured, oh, see if we can try to fix this. And so I spent a couple weeks working on this, ordered some new parts, and I'm going to show you what I did on how to fix this scooter. Kind of is cool scooter. It's not too bad, especially for free. Okay, let's get going. Very cool, huh? Okay, so let's take a look on the inside of this thing. Let's see if we can figure out. Take these. Looks like there's 6 screws on this guy. I'll take this apart. There's 1, 2. Oops. He's got dirt in the flutes or whatever. Oh my god, can I even get that one out? 3, 4, over here, 5, and 6. Let me take these all the way out, and then we'll see what's underneath this thing. Okay, so I think I got all the screws out, so let's take a look-see under here, see what's under there. Okay, well, it looks like we have 2 batteries here, and I could, what is this? Acceptance, some plugs. Let me get my voltmeter maybe, and I'll check these batteries to see if they're any good. See if they've actually charged up or not. We have to replace these things. Okay, pull these out. Okay, it looks like they are, got kind of rubber sealing over this, so it's, we have to unplug them or something to see what the voltage is. What do we got here? Oh, come on. Pull this guy out. Okay, so there's the first battery. It looks like there is a plug here. You can unplug that guy. Come on. And here is the second battery. Okay, looks like the plastic is coming off this battery. And let's take a look here. So this is, make sure I plug these into the right one. There's red to there, a red to there. This is black and black. So let me unplug these guys, and we will take a look and see what kind of voltage we got on these, because I think these should be 12 volts apiece, and it says it should charge at 24 volts. Yeah, see, there's 12 volts there. So we'll see if these batteries are any good. Okay. Very cool, huh? Okay, so I got my digital voltmeter out here. Unfortunately, someone took off, or this plastic around the outside is failing, so I can test the batteries individually. And it looks like this first battery is at 0.6 volts, and it should be about 12. And let me try testing the other battery to see what that one is at. Okay, it looks like the second one's not doing much better. That's about at a half a volt. Maybe I'll see if I can charge these individually on a battery charger and get that, see if they can be charged up or see if they're just completely dead. Because if the batteries are dead, this could be the problem with our scooter thing. Okay, so here is our special battery charger, and you can select what kind of battery you want. You can either select LiPo, nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, or lead acid. And these are lead acid batteries. And so let me get this set up, and we'll try to charge these batteries. See that? Lead acid. Okay. Okay, so here is the output of our charger, and I hooked clip leads to the plus and minus of the battery, and hopefully I'm making good contact. Let's try to start charging it. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to charge this to 12 volts. Check in battery. Connection break. Okay, let me see if I can get this hooked up. Okay, I'm measuring the voltage on the clip leads here, and it looks like it's almost 1 volt. And I brought the voltage down to 2 volts because maybe it's too big of a difference and it's not going to charge it. Let's see if we can charge this battery up to 2 volts first. Okay. Okay. And we will try starting that. See if we can charge at 2 volts. Yeah, it's not happy. Okay. It does not like that. Okay. Okay, so I have this screwy battery charger that I got from Harbor Freight, and it won't charge things unless it has a load, or won't put out voltage. I've been using it for a power supply for other things. So I put a battery out here so it sees a voltage. Okay, and I keep that battery charged with it. Let's try something. I'll just try, so I have the white one connected to the positive and the yellow one connected to the negative of this battery. And let's just see if we can charge this directly off this other battery. Okay, I don't see any sparks, so maybe we can just charge this directly and see what happens. Okay, I've been charging the first battery for quite some time now on this battery charger that I have back here. Okay, and it should be going up to 12 volts, but it looks like it's only at about 6 volts. That battery there that I've been charging it from is about 13 volts, and the power charger is about 13 volts. So this is not a good sign. Maybe I'll try charging. This is battery number 1 right there. Maybe I'll try charging battery number 2 and see if it's doing better than this one or not. Oh, it looks like the voltage is dropping as I watch it. So I disconnected it from the charger. Okay, I hooked up the battery number 2 here to our charging power supply, and it had about 0.5 volts on there. We'll see what that charges up to. These batteries should be 12 volt batteries, right? Should be 12 volt batteries. This one was only charging up to 5. That's not a good sign. I'll see if this one charges up more. Maybe I'll try charging that one some more later and see if it charges better. I don't know. Not a good sign though. Okay, I had the number 2 battery charging for a while, and it looks like it's doing almost as good, maybe a little bit worse than the first one. Look at that. 5 volts and dropping. That's no good. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible to make these batteries recover or not. I'll check the first one again. Oh, okay, I'm checking on the first battery that I had up to 5 volts earlier, and it has dropped to 1 volt, so it is not doing well. I don't know if there's any way to fix these batteries. Anyway, I'll look into it. If not, maybe I'll have to buy some new batteries. Okay, let's take a look here. So I have these wires on the old battery here, and it looks like they're glued on here, and here's my new batteries, hopefully. I'll open these up and see what's in here. And if you're interested, I can probably put a link to this type of stuff. If you want to try to fix your own scooter, come on. Okay, anyway, let's just do this. Let's see if our batteries are in there. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Lots of peanuts and bubble wrap. Oh, come on. Let me pull these things out, I guess. Come on. Oh, there we go. And there he is, our batteries. And looks like there's 2 of them in there. They're about the same size as these guys here. That's good. And so let's undo the bubble wrap and get these things unpacked here. Of course, this is my razor blade. I had this in one of my anti-gravity videos. Okay, look at that. Very cool. Oh, come on. Okay, so it looks like it is about the same size. Let me take these wires off, pull this glue off, and hopefully these things just clip right on. Yeah, kind of put these on the other one. I might need to replace the wires. I don't know. These wires are looking pretty terrible. We'll try this out and see if this does fix the problem. Okay. Well, this glue just comes off pretty easy. Okay. Let's take a look here, see what these things look like. Okay, so there's a tab on these things, like so. And these guys are... let me see if I can get these wires off without breaking the thing. Okay, on top of being glued, it looks like it's been heat shrinked around there. And so I'm trying to pull that off, and I'm thinking it might have been soldered on there too. Does that look like a solder joint? Oh, come on. Let me pull this heat shrink off of here. Yeah, it's looking like it might be soldered, so I may have to unsolder these things and put them on the new batteries one by one. Okay. Okay, so I got all the shrink wrap off, and I got my soldering iron here, and I'll try to unsolder these wires. If you can't unsolder them, you can always cut it off, but then you lose a little bit of length there. I'll try to unsolder it first. Okay. Let's see, maybe I'll put my camera down and try to use 2 hands, because sometimes when you pull on the wire, you can pull it away as you desolder it. Okay. Get these unsoldered and try to stick them on the new batteries. Oh, okay, here's something I don't exactly recommend anyone else trying. This is my HHO torch, and it gets really hot, and you can burn a hole through the battery, and batteries have hydrogen in them. Maybe it's possible the battery could explode or catch on fire. But it looks like, ooh, wow, it definitely melts the solder quickly. Right, there's the HHO torch. Let me turn it off and get that before it causes some problems. Okay, so I got that wire off the old battery, and I got it over here on the new one. And let me just see, get some solder over here maybe, and try to see if we can solder this thing onto the new tab, I guess. We'll do it the same way they had it. And try to attach that to the new battery and see if we can get a good contact. Yeah, I'm gonna need two hands probably to do this. So you gotta use the solder and everything, or soldering iron. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm just finish heating that up, and it looks like it might stay on there. Excellent. So I'm going to transfer each of these wires one by one in the same order from here to the new batteries, and then the wires should be in the right order, so we can just plug them right in to the scooter and see if it works now after we finish this. Okay, my soldering iron wasn't quite powerful enough to pull those wires off, so I used my torch, but I do not recommend it because I had to angle it away from the battery. It will cut through that plastic almost immediately, and then you'll have a lot of problems when you open these things up. So I recommend you not do what I did and use maybe a more powerful soldering iron if you got it. So I got my wires here, and I'm just going to resolder them up here the way they were, and then we'll be able to test this thing out. Okay, again, got our wires up here, and I'll just try soldering it down, see if we can get that to stick. Got 3 of the wires on so far, and I gotta get some more solder on this, I guess. Okay. Melt that down. Okay, there we go. Got all 4 wires on and in the same order. Okay. And the plugs are still on there. And let's take this down to the scooter and try it out. Well, actually, I'm going to test the voltage first. Let me get my voltmeter out. Okay, so here's my voltmeter. And we will put this on the battery. And it is 12 volts, or minus 12 volts because I have the probes reversed. We'll put it on the other battery, make sure it's good. And again, 12 here. Get the wires out of the way. And there we go, 12 volts again. Come on. Got the probes on that guy. Come on, really? I think the wires are going bad here. Okay. 12.79 volts. Excellent. Okay, so let's give this a test. Okay, actually I kind of want to make sure that this thing doesn't short out once I stick it inside the scooter, so I got some electrical tape here. It's not the best way to do it. It's probably better to shrink wrap it and glue it like what they had, but I'm just going to test it right now, and there could be other problems with this scooter. I'm going to put electrical tape over this exposed metal on all these terminals to make sure we don't get a short. Oh god, the thing folded over. Okay, so I've done the bare minimum. I just cover these up. Probably would be better to wrap it around because electrical tape sticks better to itself than it does to other things. But I'm just going to do a quick test. So just stick something on there so you don't get something shorting out on these batteries, which would be bad. Okay, let's put it in the scooter now. Okay, here's our scooter, and I got my batteries down here. And let's take a look here. Take off this top plate here, and let's see. Get these batteries back in there the way they were. There, something like that. Oh, I see in there. Okay. And put this one on top. Pull these plugs out so we have access to them. Black one and the red one. Let's get them up. Okay. Okay, so let's take a closer look in here. Okay, let's do this. So here is our black wire and our black plug. I'll try plugging that in, and hopefully a fire doesn't start when I do this. Red to red. See, this is red. Well, there's red wire on that one, and this is the red one for the battery. Okay. let's try turning it on. Here's our on switch over here. Let's see if the light comes on. Okay, the light comes on. And let's get back a little bit. And here's our throttle up here. Well, it's making a clicking sound. But the wheel doesn't seem to be spinning. I hear a relay switching. Okay, well, more problems, I guess, because I'm twisting this. It's making a clicking sound, but the motor is not running. Okay, so when I unplug this guy and I turn the throttle, I'm not hearing any clicking sound. I think this thing is a relay. It's making a clicking sound. When I plug this back in here and turn the throttle, this thing here is making a clicking sound. And I don't know, I guess the next thing, we have power. We have this thing clicking. I need to see if the motor's getting power to it, maybe. If the motor works, maybe I'll try putting the power directly on the motor and see if it spins or not. Okay, see if the motor's bad, burnt out. Okay, so here's the motor. You can see the wires come out of the motor here. They come down, it's really dirty here, and it comes up to this plug, and we have a red and a black. And I believe this is the direct power to the motor because there's nothing else in between it. So if I put the battery power directly on that, it should make the motor spin. So let me undo this connector, and I will get some clip leads, and we'll try to just force this thing to work. Oh, come on. Anyway, gotta get this plug undone first. Oh, come on, really? There we go. And I'll get some clip leads and clip onto that and hook it up to our battery and see if the motor does in fact spin. Because it should spin if we just put electricity right on it. Okay, I knew there's a reason why I just put tape on these guys. It's hard to clip into the plugs. So I got my clip leads out here. And I'll try to do positive to positive, negative to negative. Let me see if I can get the negative one hooked up. So I have the negative clip lead hooked up to the battery. I'll hook it up to the negative contact that goes to the motor here. Okay. This negative is the bottom wire. And then here we got the top wire here. Let's try pushing that up. Yep. Looks like the thing wants to go. Definitely the motor is good. So something in between. We got good batteries, we got a good motor. So maybe there's not too much else in here. Maybe this relay thing went bad. So I'm gonna have to, I don't see much other electronics in there. Oh, there's a switch. There's like some kind of switch here. It's like a fuse or something. It's possible that thing went bad. And there is this relay here. Okay. So I'll have to do some more testing to see exactly where the problem is. I think we're getting close. Okay, so there seems to be a break in the circuit somewhere. And so I just want to check. This is the fuse or circuit breaker. I just want to check this one. It's either this or the relay here. And this is easier to check. So I'll unscrew that. Okay. Let's pull this guy out of here. voltmeter here. Let me just set the leads, the probes down inside of here. Okay. And we'll see if there's continuity here. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. 0.2 ohms. So this guy is not the problem here. So it's probably the relay, because I think everything else is working. The only other things in here is this on-off switch, which is right there. That seems to be working, as far as I can tell. And a little light, LED light. And the last thing is this relay. Let me see what's inside that relay box. Or I could replace it. Let's see if I can find that on the internet to replace that. Okay, so the next step is I'm trying to take this motor controller out of the scooter because I suspect it might be bad. So I'm removing all the plugs here. Some of them are kind of difficult to remove. You have to push down on some of these releases and pull them apart. And one of them is connected to the switch here. So let me pull this whole thing out. Got some of the plugs off already. Let's see if we can get this all the way out without breaking these plugs. And we'll see if we can find a replacement for this guy. Okay. Okay, here I remove the controller, and I just saw that there's some on Amazon. Got to make sure they have all the same plugs though. Want to check to make sure that everything is identical before I order it. I've ordered controllers before and then they have different plugs on them, and it's a pain to try to figure out what's going on there and find the right connectors and stuff. Okay. Let me see what I can find here. Okay, so here's one on Amazon. It has a similar part number, and I just wanted to check the plugs. And it looks like it has the same number of plugs, the same type of plugs. So I think this might be a good one to get. And it's $21. And it claims it is, let's see, where's the part number? Oh, you can see it here. LBD8-3, which is let's turn on our light here. Similar to our part here. LBD8. Okay. So very similar. Okay. So I think we'll go ahead and order that and try that and see if that fixes the problem. Okay, it looks like our new controller has arrived, and let's take a look and see. See what we got here. Okay, there we go. There's our new controller. Okay. Hopefully it's the same LBD8-3. So let's try hooking this thing up and see if our scooter works now. Okay, so here's our new controller, and got lots of connectors to hook up here. And let's see, get the right ones with the right ones. Let's see, this one looks like it goes with that one. And get these all hooked up. Let's see. There's that one. Goes with that one probably. 3 pins there. 3 pins there. Okay. I'm gonna need 2 hands to hook this up probably. Okay, it looks like these two here go together. Get those hooked up. Okay. Okay, and there's these two here. Let's get a light on this. Those can go together like that. Get those hooked up. Okay. Okay, I have these two here. Let's see if I can grab that one. Get those hooked up. So, snap those into place. Okay. Okay. And we have these two here, which can go together, like so. Okay. Snap that into place. There we go. I have just one last one. I'll untangle him a little bit. And he goes onto the power switch down here. Where I pulled that one off the power switch. That thing looks so dirty down there. Let's see if I can get this back on. So he goes down like that onto that power switch. Okay. Get a little bit tighter. And the last connector goes to our battery, of course. And there's another connector inside for the battery. Yeah, there's two connectors for the battery. We can test this thing out. Okay. Okay. And so here is our battery connector for the black. That one goes on this one here. Okay. And then we have our connector for the red here on the battery. We'll get that one connected up. Like so. Okay. And I think that's it. And let me just, okay, we got the power switch on. The light is on. And let us give this a test. I'll turn the throttle. Well, still something's not working. So that controller didn't fix the problem, I guess. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, I'll have to fiddle with this some more. Okay, next possible problem. I disconnected the wires that go back to the motor, which is here, where we tested the motor. The motor seemed to be working. And I just want to see what's coming out of this motor controller. See why this is not, when I twist the throttle here, it's making a clicking sound. What's going on the output? It looks like the voltage is coming up to 1/10 of a volt. So something about this motor controller, maybe there's a problem with the throttle or something. So it seems like it should be able to bring the voltage up all the way. It's not. So the battery is a lot higher voltage than that. Let's just check the battery again. Okay. The battery is at about 25 volts. So something's going on here. I'll try to get to the bottom of what's going on with this guy. Okay, so I traced these wires that come from up here. It looks like there's one from the brake. Probably tells the motor to cut off if it's actuated. Maybe that's the problem. And one from the throttle, which tells it how fast to go. And those two wires come down under here and they feed through the chassis and they go to two separate plugs. And I'm not sure which is which, but it looks like there's a red and a black for both of them. So maybe I will disconnect those and use my voltmeter on the ohm setting to see what the switches are doing. Okay. Okay, so I disconnected this one over here. It looks like it's about 5.9 ohms. Let's try the throttle. And, oh, that didn't really change too much, 6 ohms. Let's try the brakes, okay? When I try the brakes, it goes to overload. Okay. Okay. So that must be the brake signal there. And it seems like it's working. Let me try the other one, I guess. Okay, so I disconnected that other wire that comes from up here. And let's try this. Okay. And it looks like when I actuate the throttle, it goes to 0.6 ohms from overload, which seems like it probably should be more than that. I don't know. Let's do a test. Maybe I'll try shorting those wires out. Might be a bad idea. Maybe I'll put a resistor in there and try shorting those wires out to the controller and see if it makes the motor spin. And if that's the case, then it's a problem with our throttle here. Okay, so here is the throttle controller, and I'm going to try shorting it out with a direct short. So it has no resistance. It's tripping the relay, but the motor's not spinning. So this must not be the problem. I'll have to look for someplace else, find the problem. Okay, I've been fiddling around with this thing, and I think I figured out what's wrong. I thought I had everything in there, looking at all the connections on the motor controller, seeing if there's a problem with the charging port and everything else. I hear the relay clicking when I twist this guy here, but the motor's not starting. And then I remember reading something about it's got to kind of be moving before it starts the motor. So watch this. Let me spin the motor, and then I'll click the relay. And there you go. So you have to have the scooter moving before you can turn on the power to it, or it doesn't start. Okay, so I think the motor controller was actually good before because the other one was clicking as well. So the only problem with this guy was the batteries were dead. So let me put this thing back together and we'll take it out for a test spin. Okay. Okay, so I've taped up the batteries here. Let's just try to stick these things back in here. Oh, come on. Okay. Get these wires out of the way. Oh, come on, really? Fit all this stuff back in. Oh gosh. Okay, whatever, what a mess. Look at that. And we'll put the top back on here. See if I can find a screwdriver. I'll screw these screws back in. Okay. Okay, so let me try to screw these screws in. I'll get this thing ready to go test out. Okay. Got 6 screws here. Now we'll take her outside and see how it runs. Okay. Very cool, huh? I don't know if I was ever going to fix this stupid thing. We'll see how this thing works. Okay, very cool. Let's give her a shot. Take a look here. There's our scooter. Okay. Very cool. Okay, so I think we've finally fixed the scooter, and let's give her a test. Take the kickstand out and try. Oh, there we go. Doesn't seem to have a lot of power, but definitely the motor's working. Here, let's test it down here. Okay, let's get her going. Okay, looks like the motor is working. Very cool. Okay, here's our pulse scooter. Sounds coming kind of fast. Here we go. Very cool, huh? Here's our scooter. See if I can kill myself on this. Here we go. Okay. Lots of fun, huh? Someone gets hurt. Looks like the motor's working. Very cool, huh? This is Dr. Janes, and thanks for watching. Looks like we fixed our scooter.